Today News Update.
This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Tuesday, June 28th. So glad you can join us. Barbadians can expect brisk winds and heavy showers overnight into tomorrow as potential tropical cyclone 2 churns across portions of the southern Windward Islands. Director of the Barbados Meteorological Services, Sabu Best, spoke to Barbados Today.
We've seen some improvements already this evening, which is good. There's a lot of shore activity, heavy shore activity that passed well south of Barbados, and it's actually affecting Grenada and Tobago as we speak. We were lucky so far, have been lucky so far, I should say. Those shore activity was lining up for like mid this afternoon, and it dissipated, but there's still that possibility that it can regenerate. And so therefore, it's important that we remain vigilant on the alert in case we get some really heavy showers and gusty winds. But I should stress that we're not looking for sustained winds or storm force, no. When we get these shower-heavy events, like these shower events that are heavy at times, like today, we're going to get those gusts up to storm force winds. We're talking about gusts of between 40 and 50 miles per hour. But it's nothing to get overly worried about. But what we want persons to do, the public to do, is to be vigilant and be smart, monitor all the official sources for alerts. We will issue any alert if there's anything that's coming to impact Barbados in any kind of significant way.
No need for panic. That advice from Acting Prime Minister Cynthia Bradshaw as she announced the early closure of government offices today. It came as officials at the Met Office continued to monitor the progress of potential tropical cyclone number 2. The Acting Prime Minister said that the closure was to ensure residents were not caught in any extreme weather conditions.
At this stage, this is not a cause for panic, but we certainly believe that given the events of last year with Hurricane Elsa and the unpredictability of our freak storms and certainly the change in the climate, that it is important that we ask Barbadians to prepare. And out of an abundance of caution, we are asking you as well to be guided accordingly and to start to head towards your homes and just await further updates over the course of the next couple of hours.
She urged the public to remain alert.
It is anticipated that during the night conditions may worsen, and therefore, again, we're asking you pretty much to just ensure that you have bottled water caught around your home, and just to make sure that you secure your personal possessions at this point in time. Just listen out as well for any further updates from the Barbados Meteorological Services. Mr. Best, I'm sure, will be issuing updates throughout the course of the evening and into tonight. Barbadians, I encourage you to be safe and to take these notices seriously. We believe that during this time, and in particular with the issues of the climate changes, that we have to take these systems seriously. It is very difficult to predict what will actually happen, but we have to be prepared for whatever eventuality may arise.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness says it is currently managing a COVID-19 outbreak at a construction site in St. Philip, as well as at the Psychiatric Hospital. According to a release from the ministry, several persons associated with the construction site have tested positive for the virus, and health officials are providing the support necessary to minimize any risk of further spread. Meanwhile, it said the outbreak at the Psychiatric Hospital, which is confined to inpatients, remains contained and under control. The ministry assures the outbreak is being managed effectively and says it remains committed in stemming the spread of the virus at the 2 locations. It added the individuals at the construction site who have tested positive will be placed in isolation, while those who are negative or have not been tested as yet will be placed in quarantine. In other news, family, friends, and top officials, including President Dame Sandra Mason and Acting Prime Minister Cynthia Bradshaw, today bade a fond farewell to former Member of Parliament for St. Michael East, Joseph Johnny Tudor. During a service held at the Coleridge Memorial Gardens today, he was remembered as an advocate and champion for the disabled and the vulnerable. His friend, Wendell Callender, delivered the eulogy.
Joseph Tudor was in many ways a chip off the old block, as he seemed to possess a love for community work, just like his well-known dad, George Tudor, who traversed the island as a popular radio personality to bring joy to many persons. In 1988, Johnny willingly joined with members of the disabled community in awareness marches in Bridgetown, and at specific locations he publicly highlighted issues facing the disadvantaged members of the Barbadian society. Once Johnny became a member of Parliament, he continued his support in a more tangible way. On becoming cabinet minister, he was very instrumental in establishing the National Disability Day. The first accessible disabled bus was spearheaded by Mr. Tudor, using his contact with the automotive industry. For nearly 3 decades, children with disabilities as well as other members of the disabled community have been provided with accessible transport through the assistance of a grant from the Ministry of Finance.
Regional and international news coming up after this short break.
Cure Oxygen is way more than just water. We infuse pristine water with over 1 billion tiny oxygen bubbles using our state-of-the-art process. The benefits of additional oxygen are huge, from strengthening your immune system to increasing energy levels, stamina, and sports performance. And that's not all. It also improves skin health, helps you sleep better, and reduces stress. Join the movement of people experiencing the benefits of Cure Oxygen. It's not hype, it's science.
To news from the region, St. Lucia's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar-George, has made it clear that there are no confirmed cases of monkeypox on the island. This after health authorities increased surveillance for the virus after being alerted that a crew member on a flight to the island who did not disembark the aircraft had since tested positive for the virus. The required contact tracing process is currently on the way.
Testing for monkeypox virus exists within the Caribbean Public Health Agency, and as such, samples will be taken from any individual who exhibits symptoms while in quarantine or isolation and shall be sent directly to CARFA for testing. The Victoria Hospital has assigned a dedicated ward exclusively for the care and management of anyone who receives a positive test result. The management of monkeypox is done by treating the symptoms, and there is the capacity in country to effectively undertake this. The public is reminded that monkeypox has not been confirmed in St. Lucia to date.
On the international front, rescuers were on Tuesday searching the rubble of a Ukrainian shopping mall for missing persons following a deadly missile strike. More from Reuters TV.
Rescue workers in Ukraine on Tuesday scrambled to find survivors of a Russian missile strike on a busy shopping mall. More than a dozen people were killed when 2 missiles struck the mall in the city of Kremenchuk on Monday. While firefighters and soldiers sifted through rubble, medical workers tended to the injured. The public hospital is treating 25 patients, some of them in critical condition. This husband and wife were shopping at an electronics store when the blast hit.
I flew headfirst and splinters hit my head. The whole place was collapsing. Then I landed on the floor, and I don't know if I was conscious or unconscious.
I saw lots of wounded people, burned people. Some were covered in blood. One girl fell down and we helped pull her along. She fell and lost consciousness, but we tried to help her.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called the attack a calculated strike. He said around 1,000 people were in the mall at the time. Not all of them have been accounted for. At a hotel near the mall, people lined up to register the names of those who are still missing, about 40 so far.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit us at www.whatitistoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on IZB Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.